Steven Spielberg's story. There is no doubt that Steven Spielberg is one of the most successful filmmakers in history. He has created some of the most iconic and well-loved movies of all time, including Jaws, E.T., The Extraterrestrial, and Jurassic Park. But what is it that makes him so successful? Stephen Allen Spielberg was born on December 18, 1946 in Cincinnati, Ohio, and was raised in Phoenix, Arizona. His parents, Lee and Arnold Spielberg, were Jewish immigrants from Austria and Romania. Spielberg's father was a qualified electrical engineer who worked in the computer industry. His mother was a concert pianist. The family moved around a lot when Spielberg was growing up, as his father took various jobs in different cities. This led to Spielberg often feeling like an outsider. He was regularly bullied as a child because he was unable to keep up with the pace of the other kids his age. He also had the learning disability dyslexia, which also invited criticism and judgment from his teachers. In an effort to combat this, Spielberg took refuge in movies. He became obsessed with them and would often go to the cinema multiple times a week. This is where he developed his love of storytelling. He was particularly fascinated by the work of director Alfred Hitchcock because of its use of suspense and tension. This is something that he would later incorporate into his own work. After high school, Spielberg enrolled at California State University to study film. However, he dropped out after just one semester in order to pursue a career in Hollywood. He knew that it was going to be a tough road ahead, but he was determined. He created his first short film at the age of 12 and continued to make movies throughout his teenage years with the aid of his father's camcorder. Spielberg continued to make films in his adolescence and eventually attended the University of Southern California School of Cinematic Arts. Spielberg's college experience had its ups and downs, and Spielberg eventually dropped out and moved on to work at Universal Studios. After seeing the budding director's short film Amblin, the studio decided to give him a 7-year directorial contract. This was the start of great things to come for Spielberg, as he was the youngest director to be accepted onto a long-term contract for the studio. He began to work on television productions that weren't as polished as the work we have come to love by Spielberg. However, it was through these works that Spielberg developed his own unique style, which would later be seen in some of the most iconic films ever made. During the 70s, Steven Spielberg wrote screenplays and directed television episodes but found it difficult to make a significant mark in the industry. However, he used this opportunity to practice his skills as well as earn a consistent income. He was then presented with an opportunity to work on a handful of made-for-TV movies. The film Duel, released in 1971, impressed studio executives. The other movies he produced received mixed reviews. Finally, in 1974, Steven Spielberg had an opportunity to work on his first theater-released film, The Sugarland Express. This caught the attention of the Hollywood Reporter and put his name on the map. This led to an offer to direct Jaws, a blockbuster film that would become one of the highest-grossing films of all time and establish Spielberg as a Hollywood heavyweight. Now, Spielberg would be able to direct the kind of movies he had wanted to as a child, without any limitations. After completing Jaws and Jaws 2, he decided to focus on more personal projects. One of these was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is widely considered one of the best films ever made. This movie was both written and directed by Spielberg and was meant to represent his feelings of alienation and outsider status. E.T., The Extraterrestrial, released in 1982, was another one of Spielberg's more personal works. The movie is about a young boy who befriends an alien creature that is stranded on Earth. This film was an enormous success, both critically and commercially. It is still one of the highest-grossing films of all time. Spielberg collaborated with George Lucas on the first Indiana Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. The movie was an instant success and led to 2 sequels, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. This collaboration between the 2 directors was very successful, as they were able to bounce ideas off of each other and create some truly iconic scenes and characters. After the release of E.T., Spielberg took a bit of a break from directing. He produced several movies during this time, including The Goonies, Gremlins, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future, and Cape Fear. He also founded his own production company, Amblin Entertainment. This company would go on to produce some of Spielberg's most iconic films, such as Jurassic Park, The Shawshank Redemption, and Men in Black. He also formed the DreamWorks SKG studio with Jeffrey Katzenberg and David Geffen. This was a very successful venture, as the studio produced some of Spielberg's most recent hits, such as Saving Private Ryan, Minority Report, Catch Me If You Can, and The War of the Worlds. While many directors' careers start to decline as they get older, Spielberg seems to only be getting better. He has directed some of his best films in recent years, such as Munich, Lincoln A.I. Minority Report, and Ready Player One. Spielberg is now one of the most successful and well-respected directors in Hollywood. His films have grossed billions of dollars and have won numerous awards. He is truly a Hollywood legend and is still directing films to this very day. In addition to his impressive career, Spielberg is also known for his philanthropy. He has donated millions of dollars to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and the Women's Cancer Research Fund, to name just a few. He believes that by giving back, he can inspire young people to do the same incredible things that he has achieved. He once said, "The past may dictate who we are, but we get to determine what we become." He has supported aspiring creatives and filmmakers by donating to the Film Foundation and the Motion Picture and Television Fund Foundation as a way to contribute to the industry that has given him so much. Spielberg is an incredible director whose films have entertained and inspired millions of people around the world. He is a true Hollywood legend, and his philanthropy is an inspiration to us all. With an amassed fortune of over $7.05 billion, he is one of the richest directors in the world. He reminds us that it is never too late to pursue our dreams and that by giving back, we can make a difference in the lives of others.